Hi there and welcome to today's live stream. Today we're gonna check out the soundtrack of Horizon Zero Dawn. Say hi in the chat and let's begin here with an engagement boost and throw me your favorite icons in the chat. We're beginning this stream as usual listening to one of my own tracks. This is Icariana. And we have this poll going, so you can make sure to hit the like below here. Hey there, Nico. Hi there. How are you? Hello, hello. Yeah, I got my coffee going here and ready to rock to the soundtrack. We're just gonna let a little bit of people into the live stream before we get going. Defiance, okay, hi there, good to see you. How are you? Yeah, happy to see you too. Welcome. Okay, so first a little bit of a backstory. For those of you who don't know about Horizon Zero Dawn, it came out in 2017. And personally, I played through the game. I played the first release, the original game. But I haven't played Frozen Wilds, nor the VR game. So yeah, maybe we'll discuss that later on here. But basically, Horizon Zero Dawn is an action RPG set in a future post-apocalyptic United States, where nature has reclaimed the land and colossal machines, creatures, roam the wilderness, while humans live in primitive tribal societies. The story follows Aloy, our main character, an outcast human hunter, who seeks to discover the truth about her past, her mother, and the old ones who built the machines. And it's quite an intriguing story, and I really loved the storyline and all the cinematics throughout the game. And the battle was really amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun to go back to all the memories from the game. Rust, the old caretaker of Aloy. But it's been a while since it came out, and I played it when it came out in 2017, so it's been quite some time. I actually thought about installing it again and giving it a go. Yeah, so throw me your favorite icons here in the chat so we can get some engagement going. And you can also hit that poll and share the video to your friends, if you have some friends that might want to join. And indeed, it draws inspiration from the Monster Hunter series, as you suggest here. But personally, I had never experienced any of the Monster Hunter games myself, so it was all new to me, this battle against these gigantic monsters. Horizon, don't think the battle themes in Horizon are as memorable as Kingdom Hearts or Monster Hunter. But you can hum the main theme, I guess. Indeed. It's a very memorable theme, and we're gonna play a little bit here later on, of course. Right, so that was Icariana, my own little composition. We always begin these game music shows with a little bit of my own music. So we're gonna begin here with the first track from the soundtrack. I'm gonna post the playlist if you wanna check out what kind of tracks, or what kind of list I'm picking tracks from. As usual, we probably won't cover the whole soundtrack here because it's a massive amount of tracks. I think it's like 40 tracks or something. Is there a Discord server? Yeah, we have a Discord server. You have the link, should be in the description to this live stream. Yeah, I always have the Discord links and links to my music courses and everything. If you want to learn more about picking out tracks, like we do here during the shows, when we play a little bit and play along to the tracks. So let's begin with the first track, Prologue, from the prologue of the game. Part 1, Motherland, featuring Julia Elven on soaring, beautiful vocals. It's such a dramatic start here of the soundtrack album, and it's also a very dramatic start of the adventure in Horizon Zero Dawn. And just love the arrangement here because you can hear like all the smaller details. You have the mystery because there's actually a lot of like stealth elements in the game. And yeah, I think it begins in C minor, natural minor scale. But you also get to hear the main theme of the game, or a small fraction of it. But then you have that dramatic. And then back to a C minor again. But love that we also get to hear the tribal elements in here. I think there's also some of that hang drum, pan drum, alien drum. There's a lot of different names for that one, but so many exotic instruments in the soundtrack. And we're gonna hear a lot more of that in the coming soundtrack. So let's continue listening. Yeah, what a sweet intro track. Just love this track. I think it's a great track to start the stream to, because it's not the whole main theme, but it's a fraction, so you're gonna hear more of that theme elaborate and bloom out in the coming track. Indeed, it's a lovely story in the game, and it's really such a fragile track to depict like the outcast nature of our main character here, Aloy, the female adventurer that we play throughout the game. But I think that, to me, my personal experience with the Horizon Zero Dawn here, I think it was like the next game after Skyrim that I really felt it was really something for me. Perfect RPG for myself. Tarnished, good to see you. Good to see you. How have you been? Long time no see. And Julia Elven, the singer on this track, she sings on a lot of tracks in this soundtrack. And she has this, it's not like an operatic voice, it's more breathy, and I think it sounds more like fragile. And it's just so lovely how she just touches on the melody, but she plays or sings a little bit outside of the main melody, just to give us a hint of what's to come. It's beautiful cello work. And here we get the main theme again. Yeah, so that was the prologue part 1, Motherland, featuring Julia Elven, and indeed it's composed by Joris the Man. And apparently this, I think this track was just meant to be like for the trailer of the game, but then apparently the fans liked the track so much, so it became like the Aloy's main theme. And to me also, it's like the most memorable theme from the soundtrack. I don't think I really remember anything from the soundtrack except that main theme. And there's also this documentary, a lot of documentaries behind the Horizon Zero Dawn and the making of like the game engine and the making of the soundtrack. I think there's like multiple documentaries, and I can post the links here in the comments of the video or the VOD later on. Honestly, I'm always impressed how Horizon Zero Dawn music can sound so hopeful and so tragic simultaneously. I'm fine, Tarnished. How is little Tarnished, the trashed one? Yeah, but just a lovely theme. But I think there's also like multiple composers on this soundtrack. If you look down the track list, I think it's like 4 or 5 different composers on the soundtrack. But the majority of the soundtrack is composed by Joris de Man. Joris de Man. I don't know how you pronounce that, but yeah, my son is better. Thanks. My son Alex, he's definitely better. But we'll see if I need to round down here. I have a little 4-year-old sleeping downstairs, and sometimes during the streams I need to jump away because he wakes up during the evenings at times, but we'll see what happens. So next up we have actually the Aloy's theme, the main theme, also featuring Julia Elven. Let's go. Here we go. So that's a minor melody. It's a really majestic main theme, I feel. It's just... I still get goosebumps from the sound and Julia's breathy vocals on top of this arrangement with all the cellos, and I think there's also like some synth sound in the background, which is... you can hear all these different elements throughout the soundtrack because we are playing in the future, a post-apocalyptic, futuristic United States world, where the nature has basically taken over and you have these machines walking around. And so the machines are the synth sounds. And then you have these tribal drums. I think they had this like a percussion specialist or a percussion professor on board to the composer theme. So they have a lot of tribal percussions and really big toms and stuff, which adds to the majestic flavor of the soundtrack. And you can also hear these quite unusual woodwind instruments. Boo, Nicholas, hi there. Yeah, you can hear these really unusual wind instruments in the soundtrack. And you can hear a lot of different versions in this track too. There's like muted trumpet, and then there's some, yeah, I don't even know what they're called, but... Yeah, so that was Aloy's theme, part 1, Motherland, featuring Julia Elven on the vocals there. But it's just such a lovely theme. Oh, so beautiful. Piano time and Siggy. Yeah, we have my cat running around here. I guess he's hungry again. Yeah, but what a lovely theme, and it really reflects, I feel, the character Aloy here. The outcast Aloy. I think you can really feel that in the melody. But again, there's a lot of like primal sounds in this soundtrack. You have synthetic, it sounds a little bit haunting, and you have this melancholic sense of sadness overall. And it's very strange how you can have this almost positive attitude at sometimes, and then also this very sad flavor in the theme. But this jump in the melody, up to the B. And then but it's very strong and very memorable, that first interval, the fifth, which is from the A to the E. But I think that the theme for the first track was in C. So they change it up a little bit, and it's always wonderful when at least you get a little bit of switch in keys and stuff. Right, so we're going to continue with the next track. This is Motherless, part 1, Motherland. Hello, Siggy. We got Cat. What do you do? Yeah, you can clearly hear that this music is supposed to go along with the cinematics of the game. Yeah, I saw a comment there, a nerd guy, number 1. I'm so pissed I played upright bass for 9 years in school and we never played music even half as beautiful. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, a lot of orchestras these days seem to tend to play a lot of gaming music. Not only because it's very popular, because there's also a lot of good. It was a good death. Because there's a lot of good music. Sallee, have you ever heard Divinity Original Sin 2? No, I haven't. Sorry. Have not heard that one. Silly Moose. Nice nickname. Moose. From Sweden, are we? Now it's almost like scary. Horror movie sounds. Cluster chords. And that was a Motherless Part 1. But yeah, indeed, just listen to those tribal drums. Where was it? Ah, there. So it's clearly a lot of like real recorded instruments in this soundtrack, and that's always a big plus because it sounds so much more natural and very fluid. Just love this almost a little bit different percussion. That's also very nice to hear in the soundtrack, not just your typical cinematic taikos or whatever, because you have all these like small hand drums and stuff going on, which really adds a momentum. Yeah, so let's continue here down the line and let's listen to Vanished Voices. And let's get some engagement going here. Post your favorite emojis in the chat. Working your way through Final Fantasy 16, it's quite a long game, but it's very impressive with its boss music and cinematics. Yeah, Final Fantasy always have super, supreme, majestic soundtracks. Yeah, we need to dig into more of those. We did remake, but we should do more. Ah, the dragon. It's a bit silly that we can't get the real emojis appear on the screen here. That would have been nice. Thanks, Julia. Yeah, let's continue with the Vanished Voices. Thank you. Just listen to that bass in there. I hope you're listening on headphones here tonight. Who's listening on headphones? Everybody, I hope. But yeah, so wonderful to hear all the different sounds mixed in here. There's like weirdly affected guitars also mixed in the background, but just love the string sounds too. And apparently they also built a lot of custom instruments for this soundtrack. Different like string instruments and weird percussive stuff. And also played the guitar as a percussive instrument, which is also adds a nice flavor and outer-worldly touch. Because that's what I felt when I first heard the soundtrack or first played the Horizon Zero Dawn. And that was how different the soundtrack was, or how different like the whole sound space was. Maybe we should have done this live stream playing Horizon Zero Dawn instead and just paused in the game and talked about it, because there's so much like sounds from the machines and everything that really brings... you have the machine up here, one of these machine dinosaur creatures, because they make a lot of cool noises, and it really adds to the atmosphere of the overall soundscape. And I thought it was very unique and just wonderful. My game, she belongs to me, just like the lyrics from the song. Yeah, so like I said, there's millions of tracks in this soundtrack. There's just too many to play through during a single live stream like this, but maybe we can cover. If you let me know your favorite tracks from this soundtrack, if you know the track names, and we'll see what we can do here. Next we have Seal Your Lips, Then Welcome of Stones, Tell Me, Point of the Spear. We're gonna listen to Point of the Spear. Yeah, the Thunder, oh yeah, that was the name. Yeah, I think that's the one. So you can hear the same thing in this track, and in many of these first tracks you can hear that, or it's repeated throughout the soundtrack. So you get the small tastes of the main theme in the different themes of the game. And I think it's just it's brilliant composition work to include that memorable melody, and that also adds to like the memorability or longevity of the music, I feel. And here you have this thing where it goes from like a kind of sad quality to this more almost hopeful, or a little bit of hopeful quality with the large leaps upwards in the melody. So that was the Point of the Spear, part 1, Motherland. Paleo Potato, yeah, I saw your comment there. I quite enjoyed playing the Frozen Wilds DLC for Horizon. Yellowstone National Park was stunning. Yeah, I can't wait to get back into it. But yeah, I have quite a few games here on my backlog, and we're currently playing Silksong. Also jumped on playing Hollow Knight the other day. And it's my first playthroughs of those games. And we're also playing Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. And yeah, maybe a little bit of too many games at the same time. But you know how it is. You play what you feel for the evening. But I'd love to go back and play Frozen Wilds. I think I have that one too. But yeah, never been time to jump on that one. Always some other game in the way. But I'd love to play it. Anyone play the VR? How's the VR experience? Let me know here in the comments. Homecoming is a nice combination of strings and with piano, yeah. Years of Training was always my favorite song, but the reason I listen to music analysis is that it gives me a deeper appreciation of those songs I didn't notice. Yeah, we try to talk a little bit about, of course, personal feelings and personal impression of the themes, and a little bit how like the melodies and harmony and instrumentation might affect the emotion, etc. Right? I feel it's fun to talk about. And it's a real joy to hear new music and also go back to old music that inspired my own music. And I guess it's inspired a lot of us, like Skyrim, and like Zelda, Super Mario, Metroid, or Castlevania. Right, so let's continue. We're gonna listen to Years of Training. What a wonderful intro and a wonderful progression throughout this track. And I really love how they build the suspenseful build-ups here towards the climax. And there's a lot of that in this soundtrack. And as we talked about earlier, about like building their own custom instruments and stuff and hammering on the guitar, I think it might be slapping on the guitar strings in the background here. If I'm not mistaken. But it's such a cool sound, and of course there's a lot of effects and stuff on that. And again, just listen to the percussion. It's always like so epic, without being like your typical taiko sounds. Now with the soaring melody. Aha! Here we go! Yeah, there's quite some dynamics to the tracks, as we can hear at the end of this track, Years of Training. Yeah, I love this rendition of the main theme in the Years of Training theme too. A little bit of different arrangement, but just love the sound combination here, the driving percussion and everything. It just works so perfectly with the scenery also. I'm not gonna spoil too much about where these tracks are, but you can picture years of training. Yeah, we don't try to spoil too much here during the reaction streams. At least on these games where I've played through the games myself. Which isn't most often the case. Like with Deltarune, I have no idea. And Undertale, no clue. But I do know music. Next we're gonna listen to The Blessing. What a cool mixture here with that really ballsy bass sound. Almost like a bell that is super filtered, but I guess that's like a created synth sound specifically for this composition. But it's so lovely with all the like small scraped sounds and all the different layering that's going on. It almost sounds a little bit like Sigur Rós. Anybody heard Sigur Rós? Let me know here in the chat. Man, the cat is really playful here tonight. Kom Sigge. Sigge, kom. Kom här. Hopp upp. Hopp upp. Great use of effects here too, with like reversed reverbs, which will reverse the signal of the sound. And reverse delays and everything, just beautiful. Next we're gonna go down a bit, Where You Came From. It's always lovely to hear, even if this is like an ambient composition, you can always hear there's an adventure going on in the tracks. And with an adventure, I mean, it's always traveling somewhere, even though it might be like a droning ambient track like this one, Where You Came From. And I read the composers here, Joris de Man, and also The Flight. But it's yeah, lovely to hear all those small pad effects and also that dynamic build throughout. It's not just a drone, simple drone, just things happening, layers that comes in and out. Sounds like some really strange, like wind instrument. And again we get that gorgeous, beautiful, breathy voice of Julia Elven. Chef's kiss. Right, so if you play the Horizon Zero Dawn, let me know your favorite character from the game. Is it Aloy? Rost? Next, we're gonna go to Homecoming, Part 1. I just love this soaring melody in this track, and again we get a repetition of the main motif there. Of course, it's gonna be throughout the whole soundtrack, but somehow this track reminds me, at least the intro, with this little bit obnoxious, not obnoxious, but a little bit of alternative chord. You get some dissonances happening, but it reminds me a little bit about this of this soundtrack from the film Road to Perdition. Anyone seen that? It's a great film. Can't recommend it enough if you haven't seen it. Road to Perdition. It's with Tom Hanks. And it has also a very, very nice score. I think it was Thomas Newman who scored Road to Perdition. Am I correct? Also a big influence of my own music, Thomas Newman. Julia, never played the whole game, only 15 hours, but I love character designs and the enemies. Yeah, the beasties. The mechanical dinosaurs. But you really should play the game, Julia, till the end, because the final, not gonna spoil too much, but the final battle, that's an epic one. Yeah, the piano song that they play in Road to Perdition. And I also get a little bit of feels from The Last Samurai. Maybe this like a tragic mystery that's within the melodies. Yeah, I can highly recommend it. It might feel a little bit like dry in the beginning, but it really evolves and becomes this epic adventure. I really love this. As I said earlier, for me it was the most like lovely game after I played Skyrim. I think it was like Skyrim and then Tomb Raider, the reboot of Tomb Raider. That was also perfect game. And then came Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was totally hooked. What a wonderful track, Homecoming. Indeed, there's so much memories from listening through this soundtrack for me. And I really get eager to jump back there and just install it again and play the Frozen Wilds too. Been meaning to replay this game, but the remaster version with superior visuals. Yeah, I really want to jump on the remaster. Hi there, Lasers, by the way. How are you tonight? Yeah, so lovely to see so many regulars here on the channel. We have all these with the green pseudonyms or green names here in the chat. They are channel members. And you can also become a channel member here on my YouTube channel if you like this reaction show. Because, like I said before, I don't earn anything or a dime from these reaction videos because it's all copyrighted music, except the stuff that I play in between the tracks. So if you want to support this reaction shows and also join in, behind the scenes a little bit more, please click that join button here below. Yeah, let's do an engagement boost here. Post your favorite emojis. Lasers has already started here with a dragon. That's mine. Yeah, we need to go back into Horizon Zero Dawn, definitely. Yeah, indeed, there's a different... It's not only battles against these dinosaur machines. There's also like evil tribes or tribes that you need to defeat. Or other tribal members. Humanoids. So there's all kinds of different creatures. But indeed, this is a very interesting story with Aloy and her adventure. So that was Homecoming. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit here while you post. Hello, we tickled the zombie. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, so I'm playing a little bit of what's the track? Anyone played Silk Song? That's just a lovely, lovely theme, Bywater from Silksong. Yeah, thanks for subscribing, you with a lot of question marks. Hope you enjoy the channel and live stream. Right, so let's continue here with our beloved Horizon Zero Dawn. Next up we have To the Hunt. We need more battle themes. Silly Moose, how long have you been composer? Many years. I'm 48 and released my first album at age 17 with a band called Nagelfar. But yeah, basically been composing since I was like 15 years old. And then there's of course more active or less active periods in life, but composed for a lot of smaller games and commercials, actually for quite big brands like Fisherman's Friend and Scania, commercials by IKEA and Brio. Yes, this is one of the more tribal sounding. Yeah, what a contrast here. So lovely percussive work here. And indeed you can hear it's a pro percussionist programming or playing here, playing the drums here. Niels van der Leest. Netherlands? I can't pronounce the name, but anyway. But it's a very nice contrast there between the drums that's very like up front and in your face, and then you have these horns very far in the background with like 100% long reverbs. It becomes a very nice contrast. A nice battle theme. Very dry percussion. Sambaland. It sounds like there's some really like fizzy synth sound that also creeps in there in the background sometimes. Niels van der Leest, Dutch name. Netherlands or Belgium. It sounds so from the name. But lovely percussion work. And it's really cool to hear that like synth sound that creeps in the background sometimes to give you the little bit of flavor of the mechanical creatures. But there's a lot of these type of like tribal percussive battle themes throughout the game. And I feel they really add to the momentum. And it sounds very different compared to what we're used to, at least at that time, at that point in time, with like battle music in games. At least to me it was quite new and fresh. To the Hunt. It's like percussion improvisations throughout. Just lovely. Yes, that was To the Hunt, Part 1 Motherland, featuring circle percussion. So you have a whole gang of percussionists in that track. Yes, indeed. So if you have any favorite tracks from Horizon Zero Dawn, the original soundtrack, not the Frozen Wilds, please post them here in the chat and we'll see if we can give them a play. I see there's also like a Prologue early style sketch in the soundtrack list. Yeah, they probably had a lot of fun because it sounds very like improvisational percussion. But it adds so much life and breathiness compared to if you only have like program drums. It's always so boring. This is really live. Meridian Shining. Yeah, thanks for that one. Qualia. Qualia. Nice, Nick. Thanks for joining in. Sit on the Mesa are the best. Yeah. Machines Dreams. Meridian Shining. Yeah, let's do that one. For you, Obsidian. Sounds like a mouth harp or something. I just love this track too. Great recommendation. Thank you a lot, Obsidian. Yeah, there's so much happening in this track, but there's also a lot of space. And you have this just lovely percussive work again. And a bass. And that's a nice thing here. It's great there's so much experimentation throughout this soundtrack, because as we have these like machine dinosaurs and it's in the future, there's a lot of space for experimentation. And that's so lovely with like custom built instruments and guitars, even though it's an RPG game. A nice bass line. But like the groove of the percussion, that's the whole thing here, I think. Right, so overall I feel there is a mysterious character throughout this track, but also this hopeful vibe, because you have that bumping bass line. Sky, thanks for joining in, thanks for subscribing. You get to shine a little bit. Shining sky. Yeah, we always love a good bass line. Indeed, same here, Obsidian. And there's also some hand pan in there, if I'm not mistaken, which is this really weird, called the alien drum sometimes. But it's this more tonal percussion that you can play in your... Right, that was the Meridian Shining Part 3, onwards to Meridian. And yeah, cinematic as the other tracks in the soundtrack. There's always this cinematic overall quality, but I'm always drawn towards how good the percussion work is on this album, or this soundtrack for Horizon Zero Dawn. That's just magical percussion work. Right, so next we're going to continue with City of Mesa. And we also have a request here from Snow Maze Dev. I love White Walls track, such atmosphere in that one. White Walls. What track number is that? Yeah, we're going to continue with City of Mesa. Yeah, so that's what happens during these game reaction shows. When I do get the vibe, and I often do, I'm gonna play along to the tracks. And that's just how we do it here. Man, I got a lot of cat hair on me today. Yeah, thanks. Love to play along to that. That's the track from the DLC. Aha, okay, so that's why I couldn't find the white walls upon the normal soundtrack. Maybe we can do a little bit of sidetracking, side questing, and play that. But man, I'm so inspired by this one. I had forgotten about this one. As I said earlier, it's like the main theme that you remember from Horizon. But this City of Mesa, nice track. There's a lot of mystery and discovery. That's what I love about these tracks. And again, it's always an adventure. Maybe a little bit of a western quality to it. Yeah. I'm getting back some memories here. Scarletania, thanks for recommending Frost Claws. City on the Mesa, Part 3, onwards to Meridian. Yeah, so again, please recommend some tracks here from the original Horizon Zero Dawn soundtrack, if you have any favorites. We're gonna continue listening to Envoys, Part 3. It's always so cool when that like didgeridoo. I don't know if it's probably not a didgeridoo, but it sounds like a didgeridoo. This really guttural, primal, gurgling kind of sound. It always makes you wake up when you listen to that. And you hear it a lot in the different tracks of Horizon Zero Dawn. And you have it in the background here. Quick end, that was Envoys, part 3. Onwards to a Meridian. Lights, let's see here. Song of the Sun. There are the 3 songs for the position of the sun. You can hear the sun priest sing at different times of the day when you're in the Meridian. Ah, Song of the Sun. Do they have that on the soundtrack? Or is that on like the DLC too? All that the light reaches. Yeah, we're gonna head down to a Resplendent soil later. Thanks. There we have the guitars again. I think you also have the hand pan or alien drum on this track. Pancake drum. Hi there, Aran. Welcome. It's a very dreamy track. Is that Your Hand of Sun and Jewels? Is that a track? Ah, Song to the Sun. Okay, I just saw them. Sorry I missed them. Yeah, talk about weird sounds. Or outerworldly sounds. This particular track reminds me a little bit about the area in Clair Obscure, Expedition 33, Cyrene. I think that's the area where you hear like similar music to this. What do you think? You played Clair Obscure? It's like a magical atmosphere. Thanks. Man, this sounds so much like Clair Obscure. I wonder if Lorien was inspired by this track for either Cyrene or this other place. It sounds very similar, also with it like vocal sample, weird processed vocal sample. But just lovely. What an atmosphere. It's so like, it sounds like cotton. Soft as cotton. Yeah, maybe it's all old Lumiere. You have this like a repeating bell sound. Totally different vibe. The swells. It sounds like tremolo strings, tremolo violins or tremolo violas. And then you have this, sounds like also fading in a guitar, maybe EBow guitar thingy. But it's just so lovely to hear all those swells, like I talked about before. It's always an adventure in these tracks. It's not just static drones. It's always a nice swells. Yeah, I think we needed to add a little bit of stuff on top there to loosen up a bit. So that was all that the light reaches from part 3 onwards to Meridian. Yeah, so we're gonna head down to the Song to the Sun, Dawning. Thanks, Snowmist. Thanks. I think that's like the typical vibe of many of the tracks in this soundtrack. Just so smooth, it's Zen tracks. Obsidian, great tracks to focus and do work to, or just sip a wine and kick your feet up. Totally agree on that one. Yeah, what lovely choral work. So these are the Song of the Priests. What a huge variety. And it's always lovely to hear more of like choral work in the soundtrack too. So that was a Song to the Sun, Dawning. And then you have a midday and you also have evening. So let's go with midday. Araman. Araman led Karya to establish Meridian. Snowmaze Jew, thanks for sharing these two. The Uninvited. Yeah, the variety of the songs on this soundtrack. The Song of the Sun. Song of the Sun remains the world of the old ones. Even when the Karja don't know about our music. Scarlethania, yeah. Thanks for sharing. Right, so we're gonna head down a bit here in the soundtrack. And we're gonna listen to Colossal Part 4, Secrets of the Earth. More battle, eerie battle. Yeah, they're really building some great momentum here with that synth bass or synth pulse, and with the percussion. And I think you can hear one of those like custom built instruments in this track too. That's like scrubbing sounds. Yeah, so you can hear how they're using a lot of space in between the phrases to build the momentum, and it never gets boring because they're replacing instruments throughout this battle theme. Many times when you listen to battle tracks, at least in the past, it was always like repeating of the same kind of patterns and stuff, but here you can always hear small changes, small details in the percussion, and also all that space in between the like phrasings. Chef's kiss for battle themes. A little bit James Bondish, maybe. The excitement is increasing. can hear all the layers adding up. You got a little bit of Mandalorian there in there. So that was Colossal, Part 4, Secrets of the Earth. Defenders of the Earth. Anyone seen that? My son is all hooked up on Defenders of the Earth. Those old 80s cartoons. Did we listen to A Resplendent Soil? I think we missed that one. Part 3 onwards. Yeah, so what do you think about Horizon Zero Dawn? Did you like the DLC or the Frozen Wilds more than the original game? Or did you like the OG better? I've actually always been eager to try the VR experience too, because I really like the atmosphere of the overall game world and the world building. A Resplendent Soil, Part 3, onwards to Meridian. Totally agree on that one. Snow Maze Dew. There are so many colors in the music, all these pads and the layers, these small scraped sounds, and again we have the hand pan drum on this track too, just some light touches, and which has such a lovely ambience throughout. Snow Maze Dew, DLC is superb. I love these snow locations. It's also packed with lots of atmospheric music and good story. Yeah, need to play the DLC. That's just rudimentary, I guess. Oh. Scarlethenia, I love Horizon Zero Dawn and the Frozen Wilds. It's on my third place in my list of obsessions. Third place, what's the other two? Let us know. Ah, what a lovely track to play a little bit of the improvisation to. A Resplendent Soil, Part 3, Onwards to Meridian. Yeah, what a lovely track. Scarlethania. First place is the anime Shinsu. Second place is the book series Ascendance of a Bookworm. Ascendance of a Bookworm kicked Horizon off the second place. Oh, that's a pity. Well, it seems like I need to check out those two recommendations. Thanks a lot. Yeah, you can see there's popping up links here on the screen, but the same links to our Patreon, to my Patreon and to the Discord channel. If you want to join in on this lovely game music community, you can hit up on the links always in the description. And again, let's do a little bit of engagement boost here, because the YouTube algorithm loves the engagement, so hit me up with your favorite emojis here in the chat. To call your own. Next up, Your Hand of Sun and Jewels. Witcher. Nice ones. Explosive sunglasses. Exploding sunglasses. Thanks, Obsidian. Now what a chill track. Nice, Snow Maze Dew, thanks. Rockets and planets. Again, it almost sounds like a Western film at times, with like U-harp and mouth harp. And the clapping. And the hand drum again. That's a really cool mixture of weird instruments. Or not weird, but ethnical instruments. Your Hand of Sun and Jewels. Right, so we're gonna round off today with the final track of the soundtrack, because I think my son is waking up downstairs. Typical. So we're gonna listen to A Storm in the West, Part 4. Right, that was A Storm in the West, Part 4. Secrets of the Earth. Scarletphania of the whole soundtrack for Horizon Zero Dawn. There's only one song I hate. The song is Nora U Noriva. A Plague Tale. Yeah, I've heard a lot of recommendations for that one. Olivier de Riviere really cooked with this one. Even made videos where he explored themes in music. Ah, awesome. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at that in a future video. And I do think I actually have the game, but I haven't played it yet. A Plague Tale. I think we got it at some point with the PlayStation Network. So we're gonna end tonight's stream playing a little bit of Right, thanks everybody for joining in tonight, and I'll see you in the next live show. We're running on Saturday. We're gonna do Deltarune Chapter 4. Hope you had a nice time here tonight. I had a blast. And I'm really eager to get back into Horizon Zero Dawn. Hope you're eager to get back too. Check out the remaster.